Hey y'all, this is my critique of romance movies. Just some general thoughts, just stream of consciousness stuff. I don't have a whole lot to say in this video. I'm just kind of gonna be rambling on about random stuff. So I never watched that many romance movies when I was a kid. I didn't watch that many when I was a teenager. I didn't watch that many when I was in my early 20s either. In the past, say 3 years, I want to say, I have watched like non-stop romance movies, and I have basically watched all the big famous ones that everyone knows. All the legendary ones like Say Anything, The Notebook, My Best Friend's Wedding, Pretty Woman. Um, all the famous ones. There's a lot more than that, obviously, but I was listing a few as examples. Yeah. Anyways, so I've watched a lot of the famous ones in the past 3 years. I saw When Harry Met Sally when I was a kid, because that was like a comedy, and I was like, oh, um, uh, it's good. It's a good movie. When Harry Met Sally is a good movie when you're a kid, because even if you don't understand what romance is, you can still appreciate the jokes because the guy who's in it is really funny, and the girl is just really funny too. Anyways, so romance movies. It's like they're kind of similar to real life, but very different than real life. They're similar to real life, but they're very different in real life. Romance movies are what life could be like if we make it, if we turn it, if we could turn our lives into a romance movie if we really wanted to. You know, that's the decision we make. Do we want our lives to be filled with romance, or do we want our lives to be boring and slow? But there's a couple things that our romance movies don't include. I mean, they don't. They include them, but maybe they don't. Or there's a couple strange things about romance movies, like, and it's strange about real life. It's like the I think it's interesting, like jealousy. Like what was the movie? The movie made in 1997. Love Jones. Okay, watch the movie Love Jones. That's a really good movie. But there was this like big component through the entire movie, and it was like, oh, she's dating someone else, and it's like jealousy, and it's like, oh, she's dating someone else, and he's jealous, and he's not interested in her anymore because she's dating someone else. Oh, she's dating someone else. I mean, they were dating, but then it's like they're really happy together, and it's like, oh, now that she's dating someone else, I'm not interested in her at all. You know, like like guys lose all interest in girls when they date someone else, and it's like, and girls lose all interest in guys when they date someone else, and it's like this like theme of jealousy that runs in everything. I've never really understood the whole jealousy thing. I mean, I've understood jealousy. I get it. I just don't like. I think polyamory is a better system of doing things, and like I don't understand like the obsession of like, oh, she's dating someone else, so I'm not interested in her anymore, or he's dating someone else, so I'm not interested in him anymore, and it's like, you know, you don't have to live your lives filled with jealousy and filled with like frustration and angst just because someone does that, and it's just a little pet peeve of mine. I love Jones in particular. There was just like their relationship stopped not because like they were having problems, but because like she was just dating someone else, and it's just like, I don't know, and like. The other thing I don't understand is like the fear of commitment. Like, do guys in real life really have that much fear of commitment? Like, I know people do have fear. I know there's a lot of guys who have fear of commitment, but like, is that really as common as it seems in romance movies? And then a lot of times in some movies, like in Say Anything, it's the girl who has the fear of commitment. I mean, the guy tells her he loves her, and she's like, I know. Or is that what she said? I don't remember. But so sometimes sometimes like I don't know if fear of commitment is as big of a deal in real life as it is in movies. Like, just because he told her she loved her doesn't mean that like she should be afraid of him. You know, that shouldn't be like a deal breaker or whatever. I don't. So like I think commitment issues. I'm always amazed that when people have commitment issues, like someone's dating someone and they're like, oh, do we want to do this long term or do we not want to do this long term? And it's like I've always been confused at people with commitment issues and like, is that really that big of a deal? Like, why do you take everything so seriously? Like it's like, I think people can commit if they. I think I don't have any problem with commitment. Um, um, yeah, but um, yeah. So this is gonna be a very rambling um video because I don't actually don't have a point. I'm not trying to make a point here. I'm saying like we could make our lives more like romance movies if we want to. And it goes along with my theory that we can make the world more like Disney World if we wanted to live in Disney World. We could live in Disney World if we wanted to live in Disney World. We could live in a romance movie if we want to live in a romance movie. Um, there's a lot of things that stop us, like fear. Fear stops us from feeling more emotion than we would normally expect as a normal range of emotion to feel. A lot of guys are afraid to cry. Okay, if you're a guy and you're afraid to cry, you need to work on that. Okay, listen to me. If you're a guy and you're afraid to cry, you need to work on that. That is a you problem. Okay, and yes, it is a problem. You need to learn how to cry because you're not experiencing the full range of emotions if you never ever cry. You're not feeling as much as what other people feel. I'm not saying it's that unhealthy to never cry. I'm just saying like it would be healthier if you did learn how to cry. There has to be a way you can learn how, because I cry no problem. I cry 100 times a day, and it feels good. It feels great. Like it flushes all this anxiety out of my face, and it feels great. It feels fantastic. I'd highly recommend it to anybody, man or woman. Crying is wonderful. So then what else? So like I was confused at like there's some things like I think people are afraid to make their life like a romance movie, or they're afraid, and that's me included. I'm afraid to make the necessary moves to add more romance into my life. I probably watch too much porn, but we all have problems. We all have problems. Yeah. Um, the I don't know. The other thing in romance movies, I don't. I think there's been a very limited number of movies, romance movies, that I've seen about people with communication disabilities. I've seen a very limited number of movies about people with communication disabilities. I know Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, he has a communication disability, and it is a romance movie. It is partially, anyway, a romance movie. Not entirely, but partially. And Forrest Gump makes it work. He makes it work 100%. He gets the girl of his dreams at the I guess at the very very end of the movie. He gets the girl of his dreams. I mean, I think I don't even remember how that movie ends, but um, it's just like you don't see that many movies about people with communication disabilities as the center of a romance movie. Someone that's just completely inept, you know, like someone who has no idea what they're talking about and just has no idea how to make small talk. There are some movies like that. Another good one. Another good one is the 40-Year-Old Virgin. The 40-Year-Old Virgin. That's a really good. That's so funny. Oh my God. There's actually some not politically correct jokes that probably wouldn't make it today. But they were funny. Almost 20 years ago when that movie came out. But 40-Year-Old Virgin is really good because you could tell he's like he has no idea what he's doing, but it's still a romance movie because he finds the love of his life and he lives happily ever after. He does it when he's 40 years old, but I don't think there's anything wrong with finding the love of your life when you're 40 years old. I mean, I think that's the perfect time to do it. I think that's the perfect time. Because a lot of times when you're younger, you don't know what you want, and people change so much when they're younger. Your brain's not fully developed until you're 25. So if you marry someone before you're 25, your brain isn't fully developed. So it's like, are you really sure about your decision making ability? Are you really sure that this is the person you want to be with the rest of your life? So I think it's a great idea to end up with someone you meet in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. As long as you keep your body in shape and you take care of yourself, I don't see a problem. The mistake a lot of guys make, I think the mistake a lot of virgins make, is they don't take care of their bodies. Where in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, he takes care of his body. I mean, like the character, what's his name? Not Michael Scott. What's that guy's name? Anyways, the actor. He has a decent body. For a 40-year-old, he has a decent body. And that's, I think, if you're if you take care of yourself, I don't see any problem with being a virgin. Sometimes you don't have as much energy. I think sometimes you feel weaker and you don't have as much energy when you're a virgin, but that's not that big of a deal. There's things you can do about that. I mean, you can eat a lot of food. But if you eat a lot of food, you have to work it out. But that's what dancing is for. Dancing is a really good workout. If you're looking for a good workout, I highly recommend dancing. I haven't yet gotten into shape for dancing, but I plan on it. If I do enough of it, I plan on eventually getting my body to look like a normal body and not have a huge belly, not have a ton of belly fat. But there's nothing wrong with having a big belly. I mean, I have a big belly. I believe in body positivity. I believe in loving yourself, because as Whitney Houston says, the greatest love of all is to love yourself. Loving yourself is the greatest love of all, because other people aren't going to necessarily be there for you long term. Like my mom takes care of me right now. I mean, my mom pays my bills and stuff. I live with roommates, so it's pretty affordable, but my mom does pay my bills. And my mom's not going to take care of me forever. But the most important thing for me to do is love myself and not be dependent on someone. And that's important, That's really important. Yeah. So like I have like trust issues. My biggest personal problem in a romantic sense is I have trust issues. I don't have any problem falling in love with people. I do have a problem like when I make friends with someone. My thing is like, are they going to be my friend tomorrow? I understand they're my friend today, but are they going to be my friend tomorrow? And it's like, I can make friends, but it's just sometimes people aren't as reliable as you would hope they would be. Sometimes people are afraid of you for no reason. It's like that Britney Spears song, Sometimes. Sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, sometimes I'm scared at night, but all I really want is to hold you tight. We all have fears, and yeah. So I think that's been 15 minutes, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. Is there any more notes on the romance movies? They're good though. I think they're better than other types of movies though. I used to watch so many action movies when I was a kid, but it's like that's good when you're a kid when you're learning how to be brave. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I think it's good for boys to learn how to be brave and watch action movies and watch Rambo and Braveheart and Rocky and Star Wars and Indiana Jones, um, it, all those great Disney movies. I think it's great for as a kid to watch action movies because you're trying to learn how to be brave. When you get older, I think it's important to watch romance movies instead. Like I would say you should probably cut romance movies. I mean, probably cut action movies 100% out of your daily diet because I don't actually learn anything from an action movie. I learn how to I learn how to punch people, but it's like on my daily basis, how many times am I going to be punching people? I've never punched somebody in my entire life. So if I'm going to watch a movie about people punching each other, I used to love those movies. I'm just saying I don't learn anything from a movie where they're just punching each other, like The Matrix. Like I used to think The Matrix was my favorite movie of all time. The Matrix and The Dark Knight were like my favorite movies of all time. But, I don't. The Matrix. I mean, it's a lot of like violence and stuff. The philosophical stuff I think holds up really well. I think the philosophy holds up really well, but the violence is kind of like it's not really that great. I'm not really that into that because it just I think it has a slightly negative effect on people. It's not that negative. It's just like a slightly negative effect. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah. Um, so. I think romance movies are probably the best movies to watch. That's what I would say to everyone. What else? But are they unrealistic? Not necessarily. I don't really think they're unrealistic. I'd say my greatest critique with romance movies is people don't try to emulate them and people don't try to like uh, consider it more as possibilities or whatever. A lot of people have a what's the word? People don't have a full understanding of how good love is and how powerful love can be. Like Celine Dion says, "The power of love." Um, a lot of people don't have a full understanding of the power of love, and a lot of people are so afraid of falling in love where it's just like uh, people don't want to take chances, but in reality it can be really good. It can be really good, and it's more fulfilling than basically anything else. If you fall in love with the right person, you're going to live a very long time. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up there. I think I'm rambling. um, Uh, Thank you for watching and have a great day. And now a word from our sponsors. Are you looking for an easy way to make money online part-time? Or are you looking for a long-term career in marketing? If you click the link in the description of this video and join ClickBank University, you'll be rewarded with awesome opportunities to make cash now. They said it couldn't be done. Scientists have just found the formula for Organify. Join the green health movement that's changing the world. Click the link in the description of this video to discover the secret to losing weight. It's never been this easy to lose weight until now. I love video games just like a lot of people. What if I told you you could get paid to play video games? You can make $50,000 a year if you become a video game tester. Just click the link in the description of this video and you can start a lucrative career testing video games. I know what you're thinking. How are you supposed to be successful like me? Well, I've written a book. It's called From Zero to Hero, and you can purchase it at the link below this video. I started out just like you at one time, and now look at me. They put me on YouTube. Order it today. Change your life now. This channel is sponsored by viewers like you. I'd be extremely thankful if you support me making content just like this video here. Click the link in the description below to support me on Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.